Hi everyone and welcome to Ben's Menu. Today we won't be spending any time here in the kitchen, we're going to be on the Spirit of Tasmania. I cook on the high seas. We're going to do a little sashimi. And the reason why we're doing sashimi is that you're not allowed to have any naked flames on a ship. Catch up with one of my favourite producers. What could be better than heading home? But you get to eat cheese while you do it, my life is complete. And create a delectable dessert. Amaretto sour in a dessert, two different ways, whether you're having people over and want to impress or you're just sitting at home and you want to pig out really. You may think that I'm on a boat, but I've been reassured that I'm not. I'm on a ship because it's massive. We're on the Spirit of Tasmania. We're docked in Melbourne, so the city's just over there, and we're cooking outside once again in the beautiful sunny weather in Melbourne. And I've got Paul with me, who is the chef on the ship. Am I getting that right? I'm calling it ship, right? It's not a boat.
That's correct.
Paul's going to be taking us through one of the recipes that's on the menu here. But firstly, I want to know, how long have you been doing this?
I've been working for the Spirit now for just under 12 years.
Wow. Is that whole time in the kitchen?
Yes, yes.
12 years in one spot. I don't know if I could do that. Are you enjoying it? On a boat?
It's very...
I don't know, on a ship.
It's a very enjoyable job.
Yeah?
It is.
Now, this recipe is one that's on the menu. It's really, really simple. There's hardly anything in front of us. What are we cooking?
Basically, today we're going to cook a crispy skin Atlantic salmon fillet with rocket and baby fennel salad. Nice and simple, and relying on the produce. The produce is the key here. How do we go about getting the crispy skin? So what we'll do first, we'll get the pan going. We'll just a little bit of oil in the pan, just enough so it makes it non-stick. Yep. A little bit of salt on the skin. Sea salt, plenty of salt. And just some fresh pepper. Yep. And we'll just start that skin side down. Yep. So you don't want a super fierce heat in there, do we? No, we just want a nice medium heat, just so you've got that nice sizzle in there. How's our salmon looking, Paul? I think it's ready to turn, so what we'll do now, we'll just gently turn that over. Yep. Oh, that looks good. And if we just get our tongs, and we'll just tease that off, and we'll just sit the skin back down, flesh side down, just to render some of that fat out, and it'll end up with a nice crispy piece of skin, almost like a fish crackle. Oh, yum. All right, Chef, is our fish ready to come out? I think it's cooked, yes. So let's take that out and leave it there to rest for a minute. Leave the skin in? We'll leave the skin in. Rightio. Yep. So while that's resting, I'll put together this salad. I better actually do something now. So just some rocket in? Yep. Then some fennel. This is just shaved baby fennel and parsley. That's correct. So I'll put some of that in there. And then these are lemon segments. Just shaved into about 3 pieces. Yep. What is it like working in a ship's kitchen? I would imagine it's going to be a lot harder than a home kitchen or a commercial kitchen. Probably the main difference is we don't have any flames, so everything has to be cooked on electricity. That would suck. It does at times. And also, you know, you get the odd rough night, so you've got the movement of the ship as well. Yeah, that'd be tough to deal with, I reckon, that if you get a really bad night. You know, every time I look at you, know what I'm thinking of? What's that? Under Siege, the movie Under Siege, and Chief Ryback, who was Steven Seagal. Yep. Are you as mean as Steven Seagal? Definitely not. Definitely not. Okay, and I'm going to use a little bit of this leftover juice as our sort of vinaigrette. So I'll pop that on top. Give that a little toss. All right, I'm going to leave plating up to you because it's your dish, and you do this day in, day out. Right. Away you go. We'll just arrange that on the plate. Yep. So lots of stuff in there that pairs really well with salmon. That's right. Fennel, lemon. Rocket. Just put our salmon on the side there. We'll just grab a nice crispy piece of skin. Oh, it's nice and crisp too. It's like a shard. It is. Now, Chef's already come up with a name for this dish, but I'm going to rename it. So I'm going to call it Crispy Skin Salmon with Ryback Rocket Salad. Now, if you don't know what that means, watch Under Siege. We're in the Spirit Bar on deck 7.
There's no one here. We've got the ship all to ourselves, but I'm gonna fire through this recipe because people are gonna be starting to board very, very quickly. We're gonna do a little sashimi. And the reason why we're doing sashimi is that you're not allowed to have any naked flames on a ship. So no cooking whatsoever. So if you're at home and you're into paleo, or you don't like cooking, this is great for you. So sashimi, we're gonna do scallops and tuna, two things that are really popular in Tasmania, you can get lots of. First thing we're gonna do though is make a little salsa to go with it. So some baby fennel, and I'm gonna use the stalk, cut it in half, and then in half again, so into quarters. And I want it to be nice and fine and really delicate. So that's about all I need of the baby fennel. So I'm going to put that in a mixing bowl. And we'll build our salsa here so you'll see everything that goes in it. So now some Lebanese cucumber. Chop that in half. And again, all I want is just this outer bit, nice and thin. So really, really small. And same thing, we're going to cut it into little battens. Nice fine dice again. We'll pop that in with our fennel. Then some Spanish onion. Same, really fine. And then some nice fine dice of the Spanish onion. Now, if you don't like Spanish onion, if it's a little bit too hot, a little bit too oniony, use a purple shallot or a French shallot. And you get a similar sort of result, but they're a lot more delicate, a lot tamer. Next, tomato, which we're going to de-seed. So we're just going to chop the top and the tail off. And then cut into our tomato. And as we cut, just taking the skin off the outside, running around, peeling. That takes out our heart. And the same as what we did with the cucumber. So just cut it into little battens and then dice it up nice and fine again. And that's about all we need for our salsa. So it's almost like a pico de gallo, which is a Mexican salsa, but we've added fennel because fennel goes really well with seafood. Now, in with that, I've got some chorizo here. Chorizo and scallops and chorizo and tuna are really, really good. That's been diced nice and finely as well. So just put a little bit of that in. And now I'm going to put my tuna in here. So I've got these little bits of tuna, which I'm just going to, I'm going to cut them into little pieces and then same dice, so really fine into battens. And I'm going to dice that up. I reckon that's about all I need with the tuna as well. So I'll give that a mix. So we've got this nice little salsa with all those beautiful flavours, really, really fresh. And now I'm just going to bring it together with a little bit of Greek yogurt. Now, Greek yogurt is acidic, but it's going to be, I guess, a little binder, a little sauce that's going to bring this salsa together. So just a tiny little bit of that in. Then some lime juice, a little bit more acidity, and again it's just going to bring it together with a little bit of salt and a touch of ginger oil. So we're going to get some ginger flavour in there as well. Now if we give that a mix, everything will come together into this beautiful little, almost, I guess it's like a tartare, a tuna tartare, with a salsa folded through it. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to sit that off to the side. Now comes the scallops. So we've got them with the roe on. We don't want the roe in there. So we'll take them out of the shell. I'm just going to peel the roe off and take that little muscle that attaches it to the shell because it's really tough. And then I'll just chop it in half that way. And then same thing, I'm just going to dice it and then pop it in. So a little bit bigger with this because scallops are really delicate with their flavour. Let's just pop that in. And the best way to eat a scallop, I think, is raw. If you're not going to eat it raw, just a little bit of heat on a really hot pan and caramelise the outside, and that's all you need to do. All right, so another one. Take the roe off. Get rid of that. So this is the little muscle that we're talking about that attaches it to the shell, which is really, really rubbery. So you just peel that off. And then you're just left with the nice tender piece of scallop. So same, cut it in half, and then just dice it up. In, and last little bit. Okay, one last mix through. Now,
on a really nice black plate so the colours stand out. I'm going to get a little biscuit cutter as a guide. That will be perfect. Just going to spoon our mix into our biscuit cutter. This is just a guide so that we get a nice shape when we're plating up. And then if we take that off, it'll stay there. Get rid of that little bit. And then just some coriander leaves. Pick some nice tender ones just to pop on top. And just a little drizzle with that ginger oil again. And that's it. That's how you get away with not having any flames on a big ship like this. You do something that's raw. So it's a little tartare, scallop, chorizo and tuna. Man, who needs a flame?
We're on our way home back to Tassie on a leisurely stroll across Bass Strait. And what could be better than heading home? But you get to eat cheese while you do it. My life is complete. David Bennett from Ashgrove Farm is here. Mate, why is all this cheese out? What's going on?
Oh, well, it's all part of the Flavours of Tassie promotion here on the Spirit. Right now, we're showcasing some of our great Tasmanian farmhouse cheeses here and giving some tastings here to the passengers.
How long has this been going on?
Oh, this has been going on for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And it's been able to showcase lots of different products. There's been beer, wine, ciders, whiskies, as well as cheeses.
People actually get off the ship at the end or you stay here?
No, the people get a chance to really taste it, even buy them on board as well.
Oh, really?
It gets a great opportunity for us to tell people our story about our products.
Yep.
And it's a fantastic opportunity for us to talk to those people that are most important, those people that are eating the products, and get the feedback from them about they get to taste them right here and tell us exactly what they think.
Now, your dairy makes this cheese. I know which cheese I want to taste. Can I try the wasabi?
Oh, get stuck in. That's the wild wasabi. We're quite famous for our wasabi. We incorporate some Tasmanian-grown wasabi into the cheese and it gives it a nice little bit of zing.
If you're a beer lover, this is absolutely the cheese for you. It goes so well with a good beer. Probably my favourite, mate, I have to say. I love that hit of wasabi. I love that the wasabi is Tasmanian, so you're incorporating that Tasmanian grown into it again. Absolute ripper.
Yeah, it's got that nice little bit of zing and a nice little bit of balance. You still can taste the cheese as well.
Yeah. What else have we got? Who else has been on here that we might know?
Ghost Rock Vineyard.
Yeah.
Amber's Confectionery.
Yeah.
Hellier's Road Distillery. So there's been heaps of fantastic producers from all around the state, from the northwest, the north, and right down south as well.
It's not only Spirit of Tasmania by name, but Spirit of Tasmania by nature. In case just a little taste of a great Tasmanian delight round at the Flavours of Tasmania wasn't enough, you can make your way around the corner on the same deck and come to the Leatherwood restaurant where you can gorge on Tasmanian product until your heart is content. Now, Ashgrove has got a bit of a mention on all the platters in front of us here. And if you're a chocolate lover, there's really only one, isn't there?
Yeah, this Cradle to Coast tasting trail chocolate platter is pretty fantastic. It's been made down at Amber's, another great Tasmanian producer. But what they've done here is they've got flavours from 7 producers from the Cradle to Coast tasting trail and put them here on this fantastic chocolate platter.
I like the little map of Tassie on there. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, it does. It looks fantastic. It's great. There's lots of different flavours. You'll see some whiskey there, some beer. They're from 7 Sheds Incorporated. Ghost Rock Vineyard Sparkling.
All right, enough chatter. Let's eat. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks.
Enjoy. One of mine and Andy's favourite drinks is an amaretto sour, and while we're on MasterChef we spent a lot of time in the gym trying to figure out how we could turn an amaretto sour into a dessert, and this is my take on that. So I don't know how it's going to go. It's the first time that I've done it, so you guys get to see me try and create something from a drink. Amaretto sours. Normally it's amaretto, lime juice and egg whites that are whipped together. So we've got in here an amaretto syrup. We've used
the poaching stock from our apricots, some amaretto and some sugar. So now I'm going to put some of our lime juice in there. This is where the lime component comes in. So nice big squeeze of lime juice. It's really sweet. So one, I'm trying to cut through that sweetness, but I'm trying to infuse the amaretto sour component into this dessert. So in that goes. Andy, I hope you're watching this. Mix that in. So that's our syrup done. It's really, really thick. So if I can give you a look at it, as a syrup should be, it's really viscous. I'm just going to use that over the top of our dessert. So we can leave that sitting there. Now, amaretto biscuits. I'm just going to crush some of these up. So pop them in the pestle and mortar. I'm going to use probably half and crush them up and keep the other ones whole. They break really, really easily. So there, that's what you want. Nice crumb. Sit them there. Now, cream, which we've whipped to a soft peak. And we're going to add some acidity to that with some Greek yogurt. So a little bit of Greek yogurt in there. And then we're just going to whisk that till it comes together. So we'll pour some of these crushed biscuits in and just fold them in. And in case you're wondering where I am, I'm on the Spirit of Tasmania. This holds a very special place in my heart because every reincarnation of this ship I've been on. The Able Tasman, when it first started, I travelled on with my grandparents and I fell in love with the lady who used to play the piano. Can't remember her name. All I remember was she had blonde hair, which was very pretty. And being an 8-year-old kid from Devonport, Tasmania, it's the first time I'd seen someone with blonde hair that was very pretty. And then we went on the Spirit before this, and we've got pictures of us having fun in the pool. And then this Spirit I've been on a few times. When I lived in Queensland, to get all my stuff up to Queensland and then to come home and bring all my stuff back, we travelled on this. So I've been on this boat quite a bit. First time I've had the pleasure of cooking on this boat though. So that's what we're after. Boat, ship. Oh, it's a ship. I'll get in trouble if I call it a boat. That's what we're after. So we've got those little hits of biscuit through there. So that's perfect. I'm going to sit that to the side. Now, these are our apricots that we've poached. So just put them in some boiling water just to reconstitute them, I guess, and make them nice and soft. And they're going to form the base of our dessert. So we've got just about everything where we want it now. As I said, it's a really simple dessert. Plating it up is going to be the hardest. I'm going to plate it up two ways. One, I'm going to take some of these and just pop them in the bottom of this bowl. So we'll take our whisk out, get some of the mix and just spoon it on top. Some of our whole biscuits, just place them on top. And then just a few mint leaves. So really, really simple. Then we're going to plate it up a different way on this board. Slate, which looks great. Need a bigger spoon. So pop some on the slate. Then grab some of your apricots and place them on top. Some of our biscuits on top of that. And some of our mint leaves. So just a few different options depending on whether you're having a dessert, you're just sitting in front of the TV, or you're having people over and you want to impress. Now, our syrup. So we'll just drizzle our syrup over the top. Same on this one. And that's it, amaretto sour in a dessert. Two different ways, whether you're having people over and want to impress, or you're just sitting at home and you want to pig out really. But Andy and I spent, I reckon, 6 months trying to come up with a way to get an amaretto sour into a dessert, and it was that simple.